have you ever told the police about Blanchard Park?
No.
Why not?
I don't believe so.
And why not?
Don't think the time ever really even came up.
Well, let me ask you this.
And here's why. I think this is why you're gonna follow up. During the time when I was given this story, or when I was told of the change, it was almost like the police it was very obvious that they were not interested in hearing anything as it related to what comes out of my sister's mouth.
Right.
So, not to, I guess, put a bad light on it, but, if they were not willing to hear anything, they just would automatically dismiss anything that my sister said. They were more interested in trying to be very blunt, to find a dead Caylee and just put an end to the case. And their quickest way to do that was to paint my sister in the worst light possible and continue that and not to follow up on anything else. And for that reason, and because they never followed up on things that I provided to them or never thoroughly replied to anything, it wasn't like they weren't on my speed dial anymore, and they were for a while.
All right, let me ask about that Blanchard Park. When did she tell you about Blanchard Park? This is the first time she came home from the jail?
Yeah, it would have been because she told me when, and the only reason I can put it together is that way is because that's when Leonard Padilla was here, and he was the one that bailed her out the first time.
Did Leonard hear it too?
I'm sorry?
Did Leonard hear the story about it?
No. I told him at second, like my
All right.
afterwards.
Let me ask you this question. Who was present in the room when she told you about how this really happened?
Casey and I.
Just you two. I don't know. I think we. And I keep asking it. He's trying to answer. When do you believe that took place?
Whenever she was released the first time. I'm really sorry if August is wrong.
But the answer is the first time she was released.
First time that she was released, when she was at home, it was like sometime during that.
And
span.
Where did it take place?
In our living room.
Okay. Now, you have stated earlier, and some of these questions.
Hey, we're jogging like 8 months of memory, so
right.
or more.
Right. You stated in the very beginning of this deposition that you believe everything your sister has told you. Do you remember saying that?
Yes.
So you believed, and you believe today, the story of the abduction in Blanchard Park.
I have to.
Well, that's not. I understand, but let's not. We can't quarrel over words because this is very important.
Right.
This is very important.
I believe there's more to every story, but I do believe that there is a truth in that story. So in that respect, I believe.
When you say I have to, is because she's your sister, and even if she's lying, you have to believe her?
No.
Right. But you said earlier, I believe everything my sister has told me.
Right.
Is it because you believe it or because you have to?
When you say you have to.
No, you said that.
When someone says they have to, they mean, or I mean, that if somebody is telling you something and you need to get information out of them, you have to not completely say you're a liar, unless that is your strategy and that works for you. But that's never been mine.
Did you say you're a liar? When she told you that, did you say, "Come on, you're a liar"?
I just said that that's not my strategy. No.
What was your strategy? Just go along, get along? When she told you about Blanchard Park?
Get every bit of information that I can. It's another lead for me.
When she told you about Blanchard Park, did you believe it at the time?
Yes.
Okay. Now here comes the hard question, and the thing that I'm having trouble with. If you believed it at the time, we're talking about August of 2008. don't you rush out the door and call the police and say, listen, this is where she was taken.
Apparently, I don't react the way that you do.
But to this point, August, September, October, November, December,
I don't get your point.
all of these months, you have never gone forward to the police and said, listen, I have the most important information in this entire case.
They already have it.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and finish your question. Sorry. Okay. Well, you were in the middle of it.
This is where my niece was taken.
Yeah.
You did do that?
I have never gone to the police. The police know about it. I have never gone.
How do they know about it?
Through Leonard Padilla, through whomever.
But
that information
do
was
you know that, or
shared.
do you assume that?
It's not like I've had a conversation with Yuri or John to say, I would be extremely surprised if they did not know that.
But as we sit here today, you don't know whether the police know or don't know. You assume they might.
I assume with the most certainty that I could ever swear to.
I don't want to joust with you because you're good at it. But here today under oath, you don't know whether the police know about Blanchard Park.
Again, I have been working under the assumption for the longest time that they have all the information that I do, including that.
You're very good, but I'm going to have to be a little bit persistent. You don't know, as we sit here today, whether the police know about Blanchard Park or not.
I don't know if John Allen does, Jerry Melich, whomever.
You don't know. I want to get you to Tampa. You don't know, as we sit here today, whether the police know about this Blanchard Park story or not, do you?
I don't know.
Okay. And you don't, and you know for a fact that your mom and dad do know about the Blanchard Park story, correct?
Yes.
And you know for a fact that they've never told the police about Blanchard Park.
I can't tell you that without any certainty that they haven't shared that. Actually, I'm almost positive that they have.
Who told your family about the Blanchard Park story?
I told my mom.
What'd she say?
She was kind of taking it all in.
Did she say she's lying?
No. She actually never gave a reaction to anything particular into that story.
When you told your mother about Blanchard Park, when did you tell your mother?
Probably later on that evening or that first thing that next morning, like the next opportunity that I would have had to see or talk to her about.
Did you tell your mom and dad together?
No, I just told my mom.
What was her reaction?
She kind of was just taking the information. Let me think. I'm trying to make sure that
That's a blockbuster, isn't it? This is a blockbuster.
It was, but then again, it almost like, I'm trying to remember back to the time, because then it almost seemed like it wasn't.
You know what would be a blockbuster to me, and tell me if you think I'm on a wrong, because she lied to the police. That's why if I was you, that would be a blockbuster to me. Mom, she lied to the police about Zanny.
We went over the reason why she did earlier.
I know that, but I'm talking about when you first found out. Didn't that knock you off your feet when you heard I lied to the police? And this is where she really was. That's a blockbuster deal, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously that's a big deal, but I understand how it came down.
So when you went to your mother, tell me everything your mother said when you told her, look, this is what really happened. I've got a blockbuster for us.
Again, it wasn't that. I'm trying to... Hold on. It's going to take me a minute. I'm trying to remember.
I perfectly understand.
It's just been a while.